27-19. Is that considered a one-score game? Right?
Technically, yeah.
It's a one-score
Technically,
game,
yeah.
right?
It wasn't as close as the score indicated, really.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't.
But yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, as Kansas City rolling, trying to get the number one seed, maybe one more win against Pittsburgh, maybe they might steal the number one seed. As Patrick Mahomes, 28 out of 41, 260 yards and a touchdown, and then CJ Stroud, man, young fella, man, 23 at 39, 244 yards, two touchdowns, and two interception, and a
Very,
devastating that happened.
very, very costly interceptions.
Very. So, Angie, talk to me, man. What do you think about this game? Your Kansas City Chiefs.
I think this might be the best game that we played in all three facets since opening game against Baltimore. I truly believe that. And I've seen the way that we use Hollywood Brown this week. He didn't play, I'm pretty sure he was on a snap count. He didn't play a lot of snaps that he will be in about a week and definitely the playoffs. But some of the concepts that we were using him in, bunches with him, Worthy, and Hopkins, and then Kelsey on the other side of the formation. So now you got Worthy, Brown, speedsters. Who you going to guard? Who's going to come out of there? And then you got Hopkins, who can go deep, but you know he you got to pick your poison at that. So I love the concepts that they ran in the first half. Ate a lot of open, and I think that what I give a lot of bad publicity to Andy Reid because he says he does some stupid things sometimes. He puts Mahomes under pressure a lot by calling these drop back passes and these deep plays when we really should be getting the ball out. On Saturday, he was 2.5 seconds average per pass drop back. That says a lot for what we want to do. We're not a deep passing team. That's not who we are right now. And I've said that's who we could have been if we stayed healthy, but that's not who we are. And I'm completely fine with that because that's where Hollywood Brown thrives. That's where Hopkins thrives. That's where Kelsey thrives in the quick game.
How
And then
about
we take and
how
then we
about
take those deep shots as needed.
I mean, Wade is fast, so you
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
they'll create some deep passes for him.
he's the thing with Worthy and the thing with Andy Reid, he's doing what he's doing right now with Worthy than he did with what Rasheed Rice last year, where the second half of the season, the targets get ramped up, your catches get ramped up, and we've seen. I believe Worthy was targeted 14 times yesterday,
Chase Besser, yeah.
and that's that's great for the chemistry with him and Mahomes. Now, is he going to get that in the playoffs? No, but when we need him, we know we can count on him. So this is just building the young man's confidence, and he's really been progressing well since Hopkins has came over. Because Hopkins even said in a press conference, saying that he is Worthy's biggest critic. Because when Hopkins came in the league, Andre Johnson was his biggest critic. He went over to Arizona. Larry Fitzgerald was his biggest critic. So he's now taken Worthy under his wing. But as far as the game goes, like I said, offensively, it's our best game, I believe, we played since Baltimore. Just the flow of it, everything about it was great. Defensively, another interception for McDuffie. Jaden Hicks is coming on strong in the absence of Shamari Connor. Um, Running game, I still want to see more, but we'll, I, we got to figure that out with the offensive
Hey,
line and all that.
actually, I do have a question talking about the run game. So, and I know Pacheco just coming back from injury, so
Right.
they're probably trying to get him, ramped up. But I don't see it acceptable that Patrick Mahomes had more rushing yards than Pacheco on a bad angle, right? Well, I mean, there have been a lot of debate recently whether he was really injured or affected because he came back running around just normally. So I was just looking at the stats. Patrick Mahomes had 33 yards rushing. Pacheco had 26. So Kareem Hunt is gonna stay as number one running back for now, or they're gonna just use them both as needed.
I think they're going to use them as needed, and however the game flow is going. Last on Saturday, it seemed like Pacheco was going to get the bulk of the carries, but throughout the game, we really needed that ground and pound, and we turned to Hunt. As far as Mahomes, we don't manufacture run plays like a Lamar or a Josh
Right.
Allen. He's just out there scrambling and he gets it. And okay, there's speculation on his ankle. Whoever thinks that he's faking an injury, that's just loser talk to me. Um, but I just want to shout real quick because he is the one ankle wonder. All right, he is the one ankle wonder. All right,
Oh man,
and
this
this
dude, man.
and this is what he does. He plays
Yeah,
so
bro.
well on one ankle. And it's actually amazing to me because I feel like he runs more and even more effective on one ankle because teams aren't thinking that he's going to run. And that's what he did in the Super Bowl run in 2022. That's what he did in 2019 when he dislocated his kneecap on the quarterback sneak. He came back and he was using his legs more because they're like he can't run because he's hurt. No, it's all reverse psychology. Yeah, it probably hurts like hell, but adrenaline is a great thing, gentlemen.
Well,
So
it's probably not as bad as people thought it was because there's no way you'd be running around like that
no,
if it was really bad.
I mean, because he even said leading up to the game that it wasn't as bad as 2022. That's how
Right.
he felt. That was coming from his mouth. It wasn't speculation. That was fact.
And
But
2022, we know what happened.
hey, won the Super Bowl.
Who won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, hey, man. No, don't worry about all that stuff. Man, they really won a Super Bowl in 2022. But anyways, I just mess with you, man. I mean, I agree with everything you said about Patrick Mahomes, bro, man. I was very impressed, man. Like for him to just start taking off, because at the beginning of the game, before the game started, last week, you heard some of the Texans players squawking, always running them out. Like you said, man, it's always
Mm,
the one guy that
mm,
always running them out. And but don't get me wrong, man. The Texans was actually in this game, and
yeah,
what do you think, Solo? Like,
That gruesome injury
we
changed
gotta talk about
everything.
this. Yeah, that's my next question. I was gotta ask about Tank Dell, man, who had 6 catches, 98 yards, and the touchdown catch that he had, and the devastating injury to his knee, bro.
Right. And I
Man,
know
that was
you I know you said in the comment earlier, I think in the group chat, you're like, these are professionals, injuries do happen, you have to move on. But we saw how your boy was crying on the sidelines. After all that crying, man, he wasn't ready to come in and play ball, man. After the injury, they just didn't look the same, man. They were emotionally defeated. They knew their best receiver for the game was out. And to me, they just after the restart, they wasn't the same team. And I know you say they're professionals; they have to move on. But I just don't think they moved on from that injury, and their chances in the playoffs are not looking good.
Lino. So let me get back at you about Tank Dell, bro. Like before he went out, do you think like if he would have still in the game, the Chiefs would have pulled his game off?
Yeah,
yes, yes. Listen, after Tank Dell got hurt, Texans only had 38 yards total offense after that injury. Now, that was as gruesome as an injury as you could probably have, as especially as a young and upcoming player. I mean, what did he hurt last year? He had a season-ending injury last year.
Right.
Rehab, got shot in the offseason, gets rehab from that, comes back, and this happens. And I'm pretty sure that unfortunately it was on that Wayne receiver Wayne. He was just signed off the practice squad this week. You don't normally see two receivers in the same area. So I'm just going to go on the limb. I don't know for sure. I'm just going to say that Wayne ran the wrong route. I'm pretty sure Tank Dell was doing his job. So while
Right.
they were in the same area, that's very unfortunate. So, and kudos to him for holding on to the ball as his knee is just exploding. I mean, you just got to think about how much pain that had. And just sometimes when things happen like that, I feel like he had no choice but to hold on to the ball. He didn't mean to hold on to the ball. It just happened that way. I don't think he had the presence of mind that he didn't care. But as soon as when he knew that he hit the ground and had the ball, he kind of chucked the ball to the side and just went like this like my knee, and he
Yeah,
just started holding it. But I also, with the emotions of the team, injuries are a part of the game, and I don't want to use that as an excuse for why they lost.
right.
Because if they would have won this game, it would have came out. We fought and we dug deep and we played the rest of the game for Tank and we won.
Yep, that's
But
what I
now
meant.
you but now you can't come back and say with the injury decimated them, even though it probably did. We can't say that it did and that's why they lost. Because again, that's loser talk. They lost the game. They didn't play well. And yes, Tank Dell was a factor in why they didn't, but that wasn't the reason why.
Yeah, that's one reason why I say that they had to just move on because they're pros, because they're professional ball players.
Yeah.
And after the game, listen to CJ talking about how they close friends. That's my best friend. I understand. But a young man at some point you just gotta realize like things like this happen. It's part of the game, and you just gotta go out there and ball out. I mean, if anything, I thought that like the mindset will be, okay, man, let's go out there, man, and ball out for Tank, But it was a good game though, man. This game was really good, and I was very impressed with the Kansas City Chiefs. This guys, man, just when you thought that you got them on the road, they on there flipping and burgers and shit. Doesn't matter what it is. Last year they
You,
won the Super Bowl going on the road,
you
so
know
this
what?
year they might host it.
They probably finally figured out. That's why they're doing the play when the playoffs start. I think they finally figured out if if you just look at the names at the Chiefs lineup on paper, man, they look excellent. Look at the names, man. They look great. I think even though their record says they're the best team, but I think they have been underperforming on the field, despite having the kind of names they have on the team. I mean, I guess the bottom line is winning games, and
Yeah,
they've been winning the games. So I guess for that reason, I can't really criticize them. But
right.
it looks like if from indication from this game, it seems like they finally figured out how to be the tough team. So they're gonna be a tough fight in the playoff. I know Buffalo, Baltimore, Steelers, Houston.
Never know. Cincinnati might make it in.
Come on,
The
I'm not gonna.
kryptonite. The
I'm not gonna.
kryptonite.
I'm not gonna entertain that.
You're right. Yeah, but Angie, man, I know you got something to say with the Texans players that was squawking before the game start about what they're gonna
Yeah.
do or whatnot. Give
I
me a quick.
mean, to Tim Settle, he was the one who
Hey, by the way,
who
hey,
tried to get Mahomes. What's up?
by the way, not to cut you off, I think he's the former Bills too. He wasn't the Bills before.
Maybe that's why.
He wasn't
Yes,
the Bills before.
I think he got drafted by Washington, then went to the Bills, and then now he's sitting here. So a player like that does not have the type of cachet to be talking to a three-time Super Bowl MVP, a three-time Super Bowl champ, a
Oh,
two-time regular season MVP. He can't say that. You can't say I'm not making threats, I'm making promises, and then go out there and try to tackle Mahomes and then miss him, and then Mahomes propels on a 17-yard scamper into the end zone. You can't
True.
do that and there's a perfect picture of him on his knee looking at Mahomes saying, damn, he's about to score on me. And that's exactly you can't don't promise anything. Just don't do it.
Don't do
It's
it.
it's very bad for your health. It's not good for your team. It, don't do it because people did it. People did it to Tom Brady, and they instantly regretted it. There's just certain. I personally don't think you should do it at all. I don't care who you are or who you're playing because that's bulletin board material.
no,
These are
I
gr-
think
these are
I
these are
think they
grown men. These
I
are
think
grown
they
men, man.
I think there's time to do it. There's
I,
time to
I,
do it.
Don't do it
Not
before the
here.
game.
I
During
Okay,
the
guess.
game.
okay.
During the game.
Here's my thing. I hate that in the last sports we got a player who has like very minimum impact of the game. He's the one talking trash. It should have been somebody like CJ Stroud, somebody who has the bigger impact on the game to talk trash because they can make an impact. You can't be a lineman or whatever you are and talk junk to Patrick Mahomes. It won't end well. It's
Yeah, it
just
won't.
what I say.
I don't like when people talk when they don't have any impact in the game. I
Right.
mean, when I played high school football, there was a guy just talking on the sideline, and I went over to him because there was a play that happened. I hope somebody gets hurt. That way, when we have to take a knee,
You
your
get
mom
him?
basically, no, when we have to take a knee, your mom has to clean your football pants when you go home because there's a little grass stain on them. Fucking beat it, dude.
Right.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
Like
but the
Mike,
Kansas
like Michael Jordan used to trash talk people. Kobe Bryant,
during the game.
but you're right, and they have an impact on the game.
Yeah.
So
So
Yeah.
that's acceptable. You can't be a no name
during
and
the
talk.
game. Like me, I'm a trash talker during the game, not before the game or
Not before.
during the game or after the game. Nah, during the game, after when we get in there, as a defender, you want to trash talk to them wingers that coming at you. They're about 5'8" when you 6'1", and you're like, man, but some of them do make me pay for what I say. But at the end of the day, man, what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, like, we win the game. That's all matters,
Right.
Once you
Yeah.
win, all that goes away, But talking
Yo,
about
thi-
winning, man, moving on to the next one, bro, man. This is it was pretty entertaining, especially if you're a Baltimore fan. But for the Steelers fans, I don't know, man. The Steelers, of course, the Ravens beat the Steelers 34-17 to tie up the top of the North division. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, of course, drew even on top. Like I say, beat the first place Steelers 34-17. This is kind of weird game because I was a little disappointed because I was expecting more for Mike T team than this. But you know I am with Coach T, man. I love Mike Thomas. I think he's one of the best head coaches. But in this game, I kind of little criticize his coaching method. But anyway, Lamar Jackson had a solid game as Baltimore, biggest game of the season. Let me repeat that again. Baltimore's biggest game of the season. Lamar Jackson showed up. You know how you guys always say doesn't show up in big game.
How about the first game in Pittsburgh? That wasn't big.
This is bigger. Let's not get into it. I'm supposed to be just asking questions,
This is big. Okay, this is big. All right.
But Lamar didn't have to throw. He didn't have to do much as a passing game. He completed 15 out of 23, 207 yards, but he got 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Derek Henry, of course, made 24 carries, 162
There it is.
yards, 24 carries, 162 yards, and Russell Wilson, 22 out of 33, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Solomon said the word. The interception was what?
Very costly, man.
Very costly because that was pick 6, man.
How about that fumble going to the end zone? He was almost there.
Talk to me.
Oh, bro, man.
Talk to me, Solo. What you think?
So I was just watching here and there, not the whole game because I was on the road. But seeing, so like you said, in the beginning it looks like the Steelers were in that game, and then just Baltimore just took over. Like you said, Lamar and Derrick Henry, that combination, it was even hard for Mike T to come up with a plan, even though he has done it, even though he did it just a few weeks ago in the first game in Pittsburgh. This time it was different, man. Lamar played hard like MVP candidate is. But I think, like you said earlier, it was all the King Henry. They just couldn't find an answer for him. And it's a division game. But I think the Steelers are still on the top of the table, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why is that? Because they've won more division games.
Because Baltimore lost against Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken, right? Remember that
So
game
did Pittsburgh. So did Pittsburgh, though.
Or maybe by conference then. Because
I think it starts out as division record, and then it goes to conference record, and then it goes. It might be going like
You're right.
Strength of schedule.
You're right, because in the conference the Steelers are 7-3, and the Ravens are 6-4.
Right.
There it is.
Yeah. So Lino, what was more impressive with the Baltimore Ravens in this game against the Steelers? They finally, Jim Harbaugh finally, or was it John?
Won a game.
They finally pulled one over the Steelers.
Yeah, I believe this is the same way I thought about the Chiefs. I believe this is the best the Ravens have looked. I believe since they played the Bills. I truly do, because with the games that they've won after the Bills, they were kind of shootouts because their defense, they had those shootouts with the Bengals, and then they were playing teams like the Giants. But this was an all-around great performance by Baltimore. Like you said, Lamar didn't have to do much. When he did, he balled out. Derrick Henry completely took over the game in the first half, and it was pretty much over. Unfortunately, the Steelers made a couple more mistakes than the Ravens did, costly mistakes. I don't. I try to be fair across the board because Russell was just trying to make a play on that fumble, but you got to protect the ball
Yeah,
or slide. Just slide. Just
Right.
I know I know it's the first quarter. I believe it was their first possession, maybe second. Very early in the game. But no, here's I think they're going to go up 14-7, if I'm not mistaken. They're going to go up. So, yeah, it was probably their second possession. And you just got to protect the ball, man.
right.
You're a veteran in this league. You know what to do. And I've watched Russell for a long time. He's not usually the kind of guy that is going to go for that contact. He's either going to run out of bounds and
Right.
put the ball forward,
Yep.
or he's going to slide. So I don't know if he was just trying to do too much, just got really confident, but you got to tuck that ball because you cost your team there, and then you cost your team with the pick six. A
Right.
very bad pick and a great run back by Humphrey, who, I mean, I know this. I don't think this should be a flag, but in the letter of the law, I think that he was showboating, so it should have been a flag. But I agree that it should not be because I'm old school. I want to see hard hits and showboating and celebrating. But I was very shocked that the ref did not throw a flag for unsportsmanlike conduct. But I'm glad they didn't. But I'm shocked that they didn't as well.
Yo, it's crazy you say that about the showboat about an unfree showboat touchdown. Like my nephew just come to the country, so he's not a football fan. But when he's
Yeah.
throughout the whole time sitting here with me watching the game, that's the only part I see him start laughing and say, look what he's doing. It was funny though. I found it funny.
No,
Yeah.
it's funny. I like it, but I'm just confused because when Tyreek was with Kansas City, when he would look at the players and go like this,
Peace.
the refs told him that you can't look at the player. You can do this, you just can't look. And he was all the ball is out, and he's looking back, saying
Right.
whatever he's saying. So I was just surprised by that. But no, I mean the Steelers they had their chances to make this close. I'm not going to say it was the turnovers is what made this look like a blowout, but it really wasn't. It was close until late, until Lamar had that pick where it looked like Bateman stopped his route, and then it looked worse than it did because I'm like, oh, that was a terrible throw, Lamar. But then you see from his angle, his receiver just stopped, and he should have kept going on that route. And then Russell comes back thinking the Steelers got all the momentum, and he throws a terrible pick, and that's pretty much all she wrote there.
That's all she
Yeah.
wrote, man. After the pick six, man, that's all she wrote. And I was kind of a little disappointed in how it was done 34-17. They're still running the ball, and then now we know why. Because they don't got nobody to throw the ball to, man. That's the same thing happened last week as the Philadelphia Eagles. The fourth quarter is always the Steelers like, yo, what you guys gonna do? And
But
your defense can't stop nobody
right,
at the
because
in the fourth quarter.
without Pickens, there's not that deep threat. So they have to move the ball like short passes. But even that, they're not good. They're not excellent at it.
Right.
They try to run the ball, but it's just so hard. I mean,
Right.
this still control their destiny. They have to win out, and they can still when they win that division.
Good luck with that next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. Because if they lose, the Baltimore win out, then it's a wrap, man. Yo,
Next
You're right.
week, it's in
right.
2 days.
Oh shit! Excuse me.
Christmas Day, man. And this
Sure.
and these
Wow.
these two games gonna be on Netflix. Don't forget.
Yeah. Dang, everybody getting NFL games these days. The money just floating around.